I haven't had an opportunity to make a guide out of this, but I tell people to put the pool here all the time. Okay, listen the fuck up. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you a guide on pool placement in ZvP. This is important. This is important. Stop doing other stuff. It's learning time. Okay, once upon a time, there's a Zerg versus Protoss. The build that I go for in all three matchups is hatch gas pool. It's a solid safe macro opening. And that's 16 hatch, 18 gas, 17 pool. I'm gonna let you see the build. That means we have one larva here and we send a drone down at around 200 minerals. My first overlord is going directly across the map to see what the wall off looks like and if there's an expansion. 16 hatch, 18 gas, 17 pool, so we're gonna make drones with these next three larvae. There we go. The first one that comes out is just gonna mine minerals. The second one is going to be an extractor. And the third one is going to be a spawning pool. Extractor. And then there are a few different spawning pool placements. I'm going to tell you them. One of them is the anti-ZvZ spine cheese placement. That would be putting your spawning pool here, which is pretty much the first place your opponent's drone would get to that's in the dark from your hatchery. If you can see the vision ring of the hatch here, there is enough room to make a spine in these areas right here. So if you had a spawning pool being constructed here, you would have enough vision to see the drone pass it. So ZvZ, if you want to have the safest pool placement, you can put it here. If you don't face that build that often, you could put it maybe one queen slot away from your hatch, so you could put a queen there. Against Terran, it doesn't matter too much. One thing to caution you against is putting it behind the mineral line, because sometimes it can make it harder for your queens to kill liberators. So usually against Terran, I'll put it here or here, just so it's not really in the way of anything. If you do put it here, you have to be wary of drops that might fly over and then try to focus it down. The plus side is the pool is pretty thick, so if they can get into your base and kill your spawning pool, you're probably doing a lot of other stuff wrong. It's pretty beefy as a target. Typically your drones getting killed is more of the danger. But against Protoss, I put the pool here. And this is one slot for a spine crawler or a spire. And the reason this is awesome, you'll see in this game. I was very fortunate to be cheesed by this opponent. So these next two eggs, one thing that the KR meta does, that's the Korean GMs who are in the Olymma League, is instead of going for these drones rallied into the gas all three, they'll send this second worker to the third base, and they'll take a hatchet 20 supply. The reason you take a hatchet 20 supply for your third base against Protoss but not against Terran is because of the Reaper. That's why we go for a later hatch. So I'm going for this third base here, and oh my goodness, there's a 4-gate. Which means we can put a spine crawler in a super awesome spot now because of our pool placement. Zealots are melee units, so you can think about the percentage of surface area that the building is exposed. This spine can be attacked from this side, and the top side. It's blocked by the hatch on the left side. This spine can only be attacked by maybe 2 zealots at a time, maybe 3 if a guy can get in here, but this is really obnoxious for the zealots to deal with. I just made 2 spines, a roach warren, and a gas. I canceled my base. And I droned all the way up to 22 on purpose. So I'm just using my drones to defend this. It's okay to lose mining time because my opponent is fully all in. All of their stuff is on this side of the map. Zerg can recover decently well if you keep your workers alive. I'm using some hold position control here. If you wanted to make this really easy on yourself, you could have made 3 spines. The benefit of making 2 spines instead of 3 is I'm going to have more money to make roaches, which means I could go across and kill my opponent sooner. But if you want to keep it safe, you could make another spine here or make one here. and then just cancel whichever spine is getting low. You don't have to do this fancy drone stuff. But this spine back here is the ultimate. That pretty much makes me unkillable, unless some really weird stuff happens. Anytime the zealots attack the spine, I box some drones to help with the fight. The queen is doing a good job. I just click the drones into the gas. That makes it really hard for them to focus them down. And then look at this spine. There's a zealot traffic jam over here. They can't even do shit. Roaches back up anytime the zealots chase them. I'm clicking back my low roaches, letting the healthy roaches absorb some damage first. And then we just fall back to the spine. So this is our anchor here. Spine got 3 kills. Super good. So place your pool 1 spine spot away from the extractor in the mineral patch. There is a final note here. Do not put it here in the same equivalent spot. And the reason for that is cannon rushes from here could kill it. There are a lot of Protosses who will start up pylons and cannons and things between your main and your natural. And if they can leapfrog this stuff to get over here, they can deny this gas and they can deny this. So for every map, you should be aware of the placement that is further from your natural ramp would be how you would figure that out. So this one is further away. Getting a cannon rush here is like, it's not good because it's not multi-purpose. This one is still connected to this area, which is really valuable for Protoss to control. So there you have it, a spawning pool placement guide with a Zerg versus Protoss for context.